All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakal Kwadash. I want to say double honors and give double honors to the apostles and the bishop elders of Great Millstone for teaching us his word in truth and sincerity and for ruling well. And salutations to the 144,000 elect, as well as the elect men, women, and children, that also make up the elect. Wherever you are at in the earth, Shalom unto you, meaning peace unto you. Okay, I'm the brother Gabar Howder from GMS Hawaii, coming to you with another lesson. This lesson was inspired by a video I just saw on our brother's page. His name is Rawai La Yasha Allah. Yahweh Shai is coming back 144. You can subscribe to this brother's page. He posts a lot of clips that can be edifying unto you. And so this particular clip was edifying unto me. And as you see on the screen, it's this Eve, this woman, Israelite woman, so-called black woman, on her TikTok page. She posts different things, different topics about women and their decision making. And it just shows you what type of men these modern women, they go after. Everything is by design. You know, these women, they'll choose the worst kind of men, and then as they get older in age and their um, sexual value decreases, they'll blame their poor decision making on a man. They choose a man that to have sex with, to lay down and have sex with, and then she gets pregnant, but then the guy's not around. So now, according to her, every man is a deadbeat, every man is a liar, and all of this wayward thinking about the opposite sex, which all plays back and goes back to what Esau has done by creating feminism, pushing that spirit of feminism onto the woman, particularly in the 70s and the late 60s, all throughout the 70s and up into present, which is they created this war between men and women. That's why you constantly see these different forums on YouTube and other different platforms where you have men and women sitting across going through a war. I remember they had a book back in the day called "Women Are from Venus and Men Are from Mars." Basically trying to say that you know because of the way a man naturally thinks and a woman naturally thinks, they have to come from these two different planets, or they come from two different perspectives. And it's the reason why they have such tension in relationships. But in reality, it's because there's no order in marriages down here. Matter of fact, let me find that precept. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 22. It says, "Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of the Most High," which absolutely the man and woman down here, we're talking about the Israelite man, woman, and child, or man, woman right now. Um, they don't they don't understand or know the knowledge of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Neither do they revere him because of that. It says, "Moreover, this was not enough for them, that they erred in the knowledge of the Most High," right? Because you ask any of these people an average question, tell me something about the Most High, and everything that's going to come out of their mouth is going to be erring, or error in understanding the knowledge of the Most High, right? It says, "But whereas they live in the great war of ignorance," because that's where the vast majority of our people are at. This is the reason why you have these situations that you have between men and women, particularly Israelite men and women. Not to mention that we're currently under curses, so they definitely affect our relationships. But even still, beyond that, Jake doesn't have any understanding or knowledge of Yahweh Bashir Shai. And at this point and at this junction, they don't even want to hear it. You know, they don't even want to use the Bible for instruction and righteousness. They just want to use it according to their knowledge, which is they err, because our people, if you would have just sit down, take some time and listen and hear the word of Yahweh Bashar Shai, it will bring complete order into your life. You wouldn't have women, you know, choosing every different man to marry, and marriage is sex, okay, according to our culture, the Israelite culture, according to the Bible, the words of Yahweh Bashar Shai, marriage is sex. So a lot of these women, they're whores. They have husbands. What That's part of the curses too, that your woman shall be a harlot in the street, your wife shall be a harlot in the street, Because if a woman is not dealing with the man that she originally lost her virginity to, then she's committing whoredom. All right, and that's widespread, which that's also pushed that feminism also pushed the whoredom of the woman. Let me go back to this. Wisdom of Solomon 14:22. Moreover, this was not enough for them that they erred in the knowledge of the Most High. But whereas they lived in the great war of ignorance, those so great plagues called they peace, right? Because there is so such ignorance, they call these different plagues that they would go under. They thought it was peace. For whilst they slew their children in sacrifices, and the way that they slew their children in sacrifices today is through something called abortion, which also came from a super elite, those Rockefeller families, Rothschild families. They put all the money behind that to destroy who they call the lessers of the earth, all right, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you know. But for whilst they slew their children in sacrifices or used secret ceremonies or made revelings of strange rites, they kept neither their lives nor marriages any longer undefiled, but either one slew another treacherously or grieved him by adultery. And that's what happens amongst the average body of Israelites on this earth today. Whether you're so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American, those things right there, that happens always. Even in the music, they push this, this mentality of grieving another man, or slaying a man treacherously, or grieving him by adultery, and that's held up in high esteem. And watching our women twerk and show their ass and be openly promiscuous, openly whorish, they look at that as liberty, and it's not. And you're going to see in this video what this liberty gets these women. And then these are the same women that will raise up a generation of men and women, all right, who are just all over the place without order, you know. And then they wonder why the ghetto is the way it is, you know. And again, these women, they choose the worst type of men, and then they wait till they hit that wall, and now they want a nice man, they want a simple man, a man that just go to work and come home and take care and pay his bills. And that's the kind of man they want, so they can afford them a life of comfort that they don't have to stress. But a lot of you women, you're single, and you're gonna be single until the missiles come, you know, because of your decision making. In this world, the man, he's looked like Kevin Samuels used to always say. He said that these women, these modern women, expect men to have basically an old school mentality. They want you to be the provider, protector, and all this other stuff. Meanwhile, the woman can be as disobedient, unbecoming of a woman and wife as she want. She could be free. She could do whatever she want, right? And that's out of order. That's why the scripture says, surely your turning the things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Because Esau turned everything upside down. And you're going to find out through this lesson that this whole feminism thing, that was set up by the Rockefellers, which I'm sure brothers already know. But for those that are new to this, like, yeah, that it was all set up by the super elite to do what? To destroy the family structure. All right. They also use social programs and systems to also destroy the fabric of the Israelite family, particularly the so-called Negro family. So now you see these young girls, they grow up, who what they want. They want everything that's negative. They want the drug dealer. They want the scammer. They want the thug, the robber niggas. But then these niggas will die at a young age or go to prison for the rest of their life. Meanwhile, these women are aging in the world with children, and now they wanna try to switch it up, or they want to blame men for their bad decision making. Because I don't know who came down there and told them this, but they believe that a life of pleasure is the life that every woman should seek and strive for, and it's not. It's not at all. So again, they kept neither lives nor marriages any longer undefiled, but either one slew another treacherously or grieved him by adultery, man. Right. And this that's this is what happens in the so-called average everyday so-called Black, Latino, and Native American community. That's commonplace. right? But you can go to these other nations and they're jacked up, but guess what? They have things in order, especially when it comes to marriages. You go to the Asian world, you go to China. At a certain point, a woman will be regarded as a leftover woman if she hit a certain age and she not married, you know, especially if she ain't got no children, but mainly if she not married. That's frowned upon in China for a woman to be a certain age and not be married yet. They ain't gonna say something's wrong with men. They're gonna say something wrong with these women, right? You got other cultures where the woman is kept away. When I was in Iraq, those 3 tours, mainly my first tour, when we were out on a markets, just on the streets, we ain't see no women out there, man. They kept the women in the background. Only woman you might have saw was a grieving widow woman who was begging for money because she didn't have a son or she didn't have a husband to take care of her. All right. But when it comes to the Israelite woman, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American woman, she's all over the place. She's uncontrollable. She's undisciplined. All right. She doesn't use discretion. She's loud. She's obnoxious. She's a whore. That's the description of the average Israelite woman out here, man. She'll have a whole bunch of kids by random niggas, but this is why women ain't given the option. In the ancient world, the woman wasn't given the option to choose her husband. That was an option for her, either her father or her brother, but it was not for her because when she make a decision, this is the kind of decision making she make.
I 100% disagree, and I'm going to show you. 100% disagree. I 100% disagree, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. So coincidentally, it's like this trend going around on Facebook for women to
Yeah,
drop
it says right here. Also, keep in mind that no woman plans to be single. It just happened. No, it don't. If it just happened, it wouldn't be commonplace. It happens because you women are given the option or given the leisure to choose the men that you want. And normally you're choosing out of heat. Just like any female species of animal, they go in the heat, right? And when a woman in the heat, she ready to lay down with anybody. She'll listen to any bullshit. She'll find any man. And mainly it's these women, they have a mindset of a child. They'll be 35, shit, 50. They still shaking their ass, bending over, wearing scantily clad clothing. Grown ass woman, grandma, granny, all of that. Auntie, right? At 50 years old, always starting over. Every 5 minutes, every 5 years, every 2 years, she's starting over. You go to her social media, she got she got nothing going on. If she do got a husband, that shit ain't gonna last, right? She's all over the place. So that shit don't happen. It don't just happen. It's not an accident. It ain't like I just woke up and fell and slipped and then I'm single today. No, it's the type of men you choose. And then they wonder why they're surrounded by violence, death, and destruction. It's because of the type of individuals that the men, so-called men, that they choose. And you're a man when you reach 12, according to our culture, according to the Bible. You're a man. Why? Because you're able to procreate. You didn't hit puberty. So you got to be careful when you want to lay down with somebody because you have to get up from this bitch and then now you stuck with this woman for the rest of your life, having to deal with her. And you don't know what type of woman she is. You don't know her background. You don't know where she come from. You don't know her father, her mother. She probably don't even know these people. You don't know if they're sound in finances, sound in family structure, respect, nothing. You just see a fat ass and some titties, and now all of a sudden you laying down with this woman, getting pleasure. Then you wake up, you wake up and get up from it. Now the woman's pregnant, and now you wonder why you jacked up.
Pictures of their deadbeat baby daddies. And so let's just go through a couple of. I'm going to show you. So coincidentally, it was like this trend going around on Facebook for women to drop the pictures of their deadbeat baby daddies. And so let's just go through a couple of them and see if any of them gave active father. Let's just play a game, okay? So what about this gave active daddy? I just want to know. Like, and a lot of these men have multiple baby mamas. I'm talking 3+. Okay. What about this gay longevity, long-term relationship, marriage, commitment, active dad? What about this photo? Please tell me. Because us normal folks with brains, we can look at this photo and like, yeah, absolutely not. There's no way y'all looked at some of these pictures and some of these men and was like, yeah, he's gonna make a great father, for sure. There's no way. You will not lie to me. You will not lie to me. Absolutely not. Like, what gave active dad? Like, tell me. Like, to us normal folk, this is not a shocker. This is not a shocker. I just don't understand. What could these men have told you to make you assume that they were going to be present active dads? Because none of this gives great father. Like, I don't understand. A lot of y'all were not manipulated. You weren't scammed. Y'all just messed around with losers unprotected and thought you were going to get an active dad somehow. Like, just look at the type of men you're sleeping with. Look at the quality of men you're sleeping with, and you thought you were going to get an active dad. I don't understand. What of these photos said, come have a baby with me because I'm going to be active father to them? I don't understand. Like, is the father in the room with us? Is active.
Exactly. So these men that these women lay down with, they don't think that, like, look, this man is going to be a father to the child that I'm going to bear in this world. You know, again, neither the man nor the woman are looking at each other with a forward mindset. They're just thinking each other in sex, heat, you know. And as you get older, that shit cool down, you know. But when you're young, you know, that's all you thinking about is lamb, is fucking. That's all these women thinking about. And a lot of these women are young, they're in their prime, so they're fertile. They're not even taking any consideration in that you're at your most fertile point at a certain age. Let me see something. I typed in at what age is a woman most fertile, and it says a woman's peak in reproductivity years are between the late teens and late 20s. By the age 30, fertility or the ability to get pregnant starts to decline. This decline happens faster once you reach your mid 30s. By 45, fertility has declined so much that getting pregnant naturally is unlikely. You see? You know? So we're look, listen, and this is why in the ancient world, um, women got married at a young age. Check this out. You know, in this society, it don't happen that way. You know, they put a negative negative perception on you if you start talking like this. I'm sorry. Just bear with me, brothers. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. Open image. I want to open this image, right? It says right here, 5 ages of females fertility. It says stage 1, 14. Most women have begun to ovulate. And this is why in the ancient world, you had women getting married to older men at the age of 14. Because she done passed the flower of her age, meaning that she's able to have a period. And then that being said, she's able to ovulate. That means she's able to get pregnant. It says at age 21, female fertility is at or reaches its peak. So from 14 to 21, what's that, like a 7 year period? You're at your peak. You go from your lowest to your highest level of fertility, right? And most of these men, they're around that age. You know, they're around the teenage age, and they're like in their 20s. So these young women, these young girls, and even older women, be laying with these little thugs, these thuggies, man. These are nothing but Pookies and Ray Rays. All of these dudes that she's showing in this video are nothing but Pookies and Ray Rays, man. You know, these niggas are a product of their environment too. They probably grew up in the same type of household, so now they just keep it going. You know, look at this shit. You know, just a bunch of niggas that don't give a fuck, man. These are the type of people these are the type of men that are pushing out children left and right in this world, man. And this is why Margaret Sanger, you know, call the undesirables, man. These Jakes out here, they just out here super thugging it out, man. You know, and they're nothing but clone Tyrones, man. Look at this shit. You know what I'm saying? How can a woman, you gonna post a nigga that you had children with and call him a deadbeat? Well, look, you a deadbeat too. Look at the type of people you let run up in you, man, and bust all in your club. And like she said, nothing about these niggas say responsible. Nothing about these men says productive. Nothing about these niggas say honorable, integrity, discipline. Nothing. None of that says that. Right? And it go for men. When you choose these women that you lay down with, you gotta be careful, man. I speak from experience in my life. Certain women you shouldn't just be giving your body open to, man. But that's because our nation don't have no order. All right? It comes from Jake's innate rebellious spirit, which they rebel against the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh Shem Shai. Then you also got, you're in hell, you're in captivity underneath of this devil who's oppressing you. He pushing this vibration. You know, these niggas seem to last longer on the earth. You're like, God damn. These are the type of niggas that got access to all kinds of resources and shit. And you're like, damn, well, we know they doing it through wickedness. But you like, damn, what the fuck, man? Look at this nigga, man. Like, these niggas look dirty. These niggas look like they slept in these clothes and woke up. Pants hanging off their ass, digging in their pants like they itching, sweaters on, nigga got the gat on the side. You know, these niggas just look like niggas that just ain't right. But these are the type of men that you women want. And if it ain't them, it's the athlete or the entertainer. Mainly the athlete, because now he got a check coming and you know he got a guaranteed check. So now you like, oh yeah, I can lay with him and get paid. So you see these women that you think look like something. A lot of these bitches ain't shit. You know? But yeah, like it says right here, the 5 ages of female fertility, stage 1 is 14 years old. Stage 2, 21. That's when she reached her peak. At stage 3, her fertility has begun to decline at age 30. And that's why in the ancient world, men of integrity and renown and of substance, they didn't choose a woman that was in her fucking 30s. They got them a young woman. You know, she's either 12, 14, right? But she was already, at that age, by the time she hit 14, she knows how to take care of home and a house and a husband. She knows how to do this because she was brought up to do these things. You know, by the time she hit 21, she was well into it. So 30, it says 37, at stage 4, 37, female fertility drops steeply. And then a lot of times women wait till they hit stage 3. Now they want to think about getting pregnant and having a husband and so-called settling down because they use stage 1 and stage 2 to burn out and be toxic. And while they were in stage 1 and stage 2, they were choosing thug niggas like these, Thugnificent and Thug Brown, you know, super demons. They were choosing these men, these young demons, and they would think, oh, this is the best quality right here, and it's not. You know, niggas smelling like weed smoke and high off of pills, got criminal backgrounds, so the nigga can't be productive in society. But that's what they want. The scammers and the lowlifes. You see? And then in this video, she was talking about women doing their due diligence. But these women don't even know the term due diligence. Let me play this.
I don't see it. You will not lie to me and say these men manipulated and scammed you. Because I can look at them and say, yeah, no, probably not. Probably not a good idea. Probably not a good idea. And mind you, these women posted the pictures of their baby daddies and stuff. So either y'all are completely blind and slow and you just sleep with anyone.
What they do.
Or maybe y'all just hope and pray that the scammers and drug dealers that y'all love will somehow commit to you. Because none of this gives active dad. Like, what could this man have told you to make you assume that he was going to be an active daddy? What could he have told you? Like, especially a lot of these men have more than 3 baby mamas. Why would you think you were the one? Why did you think that? Please tell me. I'm waiting. Now, some women do their due diligence. Some women do get manipulated. Some women do get dealt bad cards. But that's not a lot of you, okay? It's not.
That's the exception, and the exception don't make the rule.
A lot of y'all don't lead with the idea that y'all are actually looking for an active father, a man that's going to actually be in the home. A lot of y'all lead with the idea that y'all are trying to get your rocks off. And because y'all are not leading, right, correctly, doing your due diligence, you get caught up in these situations.
Well, a woman is not set to lead. And that's another point we're going to make in this. In the ancient world, in the ancient Israel, in our culture, a woman was under she was under constant wardship. All right. This is a book called The Israelites. Right here. The Israelites by B.S.J. Iserling, right? And I'm going to read from page 102. It says the position of the woman, okay, in the Israelite culture, all right? It says, as with slaves, so is the case of women. Legal and actual social status did not necessarily coincide in biblical law. Women were under perpetual, meaning constant, wardship. And that term wardship is the office of a guardian, guardianship, custody of a minor, the condition of being a ward or care of a guardian. So this guardian would be, in the ancient world, this guardian would be either her father, or if her father died, then her brother or another male figure. Could have been an uncle, like in the case of Esther. I think he was her uncle, or he might have been her cousin or something like that. But she was under his wardship until she went into the king's house, right? So it says legal and actual social status did not necessarily coincide in biblical law. Women were under perpetual wardship. First their fathers, then their husbands. So exactly. So it was always a male figure that was over her, and that has biblical references. All right. It says this is First Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the heavenly Father, right? And this really called the divine order, but they call it the Christian order. They just changed that. It used to be called the divine order, but it's divine order, right? The head of every man is Yahushua. The head of every Israelite man is Yahushua. And it's another reason why you see Jake out here jacked up, because they're dishonoring their head, right? They ain't not honoring the Heavenly Father and His Son, all right? So these women are doing the same thing. They're not honoring their heads. And they push through feminism to dishonor their heads. They don't look at the man as the head. You know, or he only the head as long as he followed Jesus, or he only the head as long as he provide. He got to give me this and give me that. Because you can go out and provide, but you're still a slave to a woman. You're a servant for her sake. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. All right? It is not supposed to be that way. All right? It says this. It says, let me read that again in this book on page 102. It says, as with slaves, so is the case of women. Legal and actual social status did not necessarily coincide. In biblical law, women were under perpetual wardship. First their fathers, then their husband, or another responsible male. So a father, a husband, or her brother or her uncle, but he had to be a responsible man. They could be divorced by their husbands, but not divorce them. So women couldn't divorce a man. All right, and it wasn't set up to be that way anyway, as divorce is very commonplace in the West, in the world that we live in today. In the ancient world, it wasn't commonplace. It says their fathers received a bride price, a mohar or mahar from their suitors, but whether any of this or anything else went to them as a dowry or widow's portion is uncertain. It is also doubtful whether they could testify in court, right? Because in order to testify, you have to have testicles. That's why testifying was always relegated to the man, but not in this society. It says, in testifying in court, and their religious activities were restricted. Nevertheless, they enjoyed some status in their homes, particularly if they had children who owed them respect. Exactly, because a woman's primary place is in the home. It's not in the streets. It's not out there making money. It's not out there being single and ready to mingle. That's not her place. A woman's natural place is at home. But these women are so out of order, they can't even be in a home. And when they're brought up with a man that is a father that's strict and that's orderly and that's a disciplinary, they get offended by that, and so they want to break away from that. And 9 times out of 10, they run away from that, and they're not looking for that in men. They're turned off by that. That happens a lot with the Northern Kingdom, right? They resent their fathers because of um, the strict policies he would have over the daughter. Okay, so it says, Salakia. Just bear with me, brothers. Salakia. Happens a lot in the Northern Kingdom. So going back into this book, um, off of page 102, it says, nevertheless, they enjoyed some status in their homes, particularly if they had children who owed them respect. Similarly, while they were largely excluded from public life, this exclusion was not total. For instance, Huldah and Deborah were prophetess, the latter even a war leader, while queen mothers queen mothers in Judah in particular enjoyed high standing. Lower down the scale, upper or middle class women might dispose of property as seals inscribed with their names attest. Uh, you can see Judges 17:2-4. It seems, in fact, that women of the character could make their weight felt. The great woman Shuna, 2 Kings 4, may be taken as an example. The mother of King Jehoaz and Zedekiah of Judah, a lady from the country gentry, will not have been likened to lioness for nothing. Yeah, well, a lot of times they were out of order anyway. A lot of these women were out of complete order, you know. So, women had their place in ancient Israelite society, all right? But because they don't have that, Jake is completely broken, and it's to the point where, like, it's not just America. You can go anywhere in the Western world, in Europe, shit, even in Africa. That feminism has spread like wildfire. That's a philosophy, and it's destroyed many nations. Just that alone, because you start getting these women out of order, now the whole system starts going crazy, man. And Esau planted that bug. And this woman said something about due diligence, right? It says the due diligence is reasonable steps taken by a person in order to satisfy legal requirements, especially in buying or selling something. A comprehensive appraisal of business undertaken by a prospective buyer, especially establish its assets and liabilities and evaluate commercial potential, right? So people kind of use the term due diligence to, it says, is an investigative audit or review performed to confirm facts and details. And these women, they're not set up to do that. They haven't been given a mind to exact due diligence when it comes to choosing a prospective mate. In fact, they shouldn't even be allowed to do that. But this is the way of the world we live in. This is the book of Job. I thought I had it. Job 39:17. Because the Most High hath deprived her of wisdom, neither have he imparted her understanding. Right. So the woman don't have wisdom and understanding. And that understanding, that wisdom is that acumen in business or administrative. They don't have that. And it's a reason because one, she's emotionally erratic and she's unstable, especially during that time of the month. Start losing her fucking mind. You know, she's highly emotional, highly just unstable. That's why she has to have a guardian there, somebody there to balance that out, whether that's her father or her husband or another responsible man. All right. So I looked this up in weddings and marriages and traditions in ancient Israel, which I bring this out a lot. I had it saved. I don't know why it's not saved anymore. I'm gonna save it again. Um, this is a great tool. This is off of Bible Odyssey, right? And I'm just going to skip down right here. It says the relationship between husband and wives was not equal. And in this society that we live in, they teach you that it's supposed to be equal. And it's not. Oh, the woman is the prize. No, she's not the prize. The man is supposed to be the prize. But a woman is valued, especially if she's a virgin, you know. She has her value, but she ain't the prize. It says the relationship between husband and wives was not equal in ancient Near East, including Israel. Baal, one of the Hebrew words for husband, also meant Lord or master, and men had life and death power over women in the case of adultery, which in ancient Israel involved a woman having sex outside her marriage or a man having sex with another man's wife. You see? So that's what adultery is. A lot of these women go crazy, they start busting your shit up, throwing people in jail, killing men because he slept with another woman. You know, these women believe that they have control over the men, and they don't. As it says in First Corinthians, it says what? It says, but I would, verse 3, 1 Corinthians 11 and 3, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is the Most High. You see? So the woman is not the head, all right? She's a tail. She's over the children. You know, but she's not over the man. For every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor for his head. That's the reason why we don't pray and prophesy with our heads covered as men. But every woman that prayeth or prophesy with her head uncovered, dishonor for her head. Right? What is her head? Her husband. You know, for that is even all one as if she were shaven. For if a woman be not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it be a shame for a woman to be shorn or shaven, let her be covered. Right. And women, that's why these women throw these wigs on their head. I'm talking about our women, the Negro woman, particularly, man, because she don't want to be bald headed. Because it's a shame. She already knows it's a natural shame unto her to be that way. Right? So if it's a shame to be that, then if she's uncovered, there's gonna be a shame in that too. I'm just gonna see this in the NLT. It says, yes, if she refuses to wear a head covering, she should cut off all her hair. But since it is shameful for a woman to have her hair cut off, her hair cut, because her hair is her glory. The glory of the woman is her hair, and the glory of the man is the woman. Or her head shaved, we should wear coverings, right? You see? It says, verse 8, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Exactly. The man wasn't created for the woman's sake. I was watching a video on the internet earlier today, and this woman was saying she was on stage talking about she need a new everything. She need new clothes. She need a new car. She need a new dick. And all the women started clapping and raising their hands up and shit. And that shit is I turned that shit off because it was off. That shit was hella off, man. You know. But that's the mindset of the woman. It says in the NLT, for the first man didn't come from women, but the first woman came from man, right? She came out of his lineage, right? It says, for this cause ought woman have power on her head because of the angels. And when you read that in the NLT, it says, for this reason and because the angels are watching, a woman should wear a covering on her head to show she is under authority. And these women, you could tell they're not under any authority. Look at the decisions that they're making, bro. The decisions that they make regarding men, decisions that they make regarding themselves, decisions that they can't even make a decision on what to eat at night. And when they do have to, when they are forced in a position where they have to make these adult decisions, they're the first ones to get frustrated and start crying, they get emotional. You know what I'm saying? Because you can tell it's not naturally fitted for them. If they have a decrease in lifestyle, they start losing their minds. They don't know how to act. You know, they're not accustomed to these things. But as a man, we have to be accustomed to these things. We have to always be in a position to be able to adapt and overcome. But that's not given to a woman. She'll only overcome when she got a man of understanding. And you saw in this video right here that the men that these so-called women choose, they're definitely not men of understanding at all. Okay? So where was I at? First Corinthians, back in First Corinthians, right? It says, verse 12, for as the woman is of the man, even so the man also by the woman, but all things of the Most High. I'm sorry, let me read that again. Verse 10, for this cause ought the woman have power on her head because of the angels? Nevertheless, neither is the man without the woman. Right, but Esau has created the world where he's trying to make it so like that. Neither the woman without the man in the Lord, right? Because the Lord is not with women on women and men on men. That's not what the Lord is with. He created man, the woman for the man, right? For the woman is of the man, so is the man also by the woman, but all things of the Most High. Let me read that in the NLT, right? It says, for although the first woman came from man, every other man was born from a woman, and everything comes from the Most High. Yeah, but you know that every man that's born of a woman is his life is full of trouble and short, you know, because other woman became sin, and then through her we all die, you know. Let's see when he doth any verse 15. But if a woman have long hair, it is glory to her. It is a glory to her, for her hair is given her for a covering. But if a man seem contentious, we have no. Okay, I'm not going to read no more of that. That was it. So that's showing you that the woman's hair is her glory, right? So I'm done with that one. Let's go back to this. It says the relationship between husband and wives was not an equal in the ancient Near East. Okay, it says including Israel. By all, one of the Hebrew words for husband also meant Lord or master, and men had life and death power over women. In the case of adultery, which in ancient Israel involved a woman having sex outside of her marriage, or a man having sex with another man's wife. Men, though, could have multiple wives and concubines, were allowed to go and concubines and were allowed to go to prostitutes. Let me read that again. Men, though, could have multiple wives, right? And when you have multiple wives, that means you had to be a man of substance because you got to take care of these women. And you were allowed to have what? Concubines, and were allowed to go to prostitutes. Thus, monogamy was a one-way street in this culture, right? It was a one-way street, and a woman drove down it. You know what I'm saying? Biblical texts make it clear that marriages between cousins were okay. I don't have to read none of that. So that shows you that, hey, look, like there was an order, but the world that we live in today, that order does not exist anymore. All right. Let me see. I had some more stuff right here. It says 11 things about women in ancient Israel, and they're obviously going to show them as Edomites, but we know that they're not. 11 things about women in ancient Israel you probably didn't know. It says hard work. Hard work wasn't just for men in an ancient Israelite household, but in the world we live in today, that's always the case. Like these women refuse to do any real hard work, you know, and if they do housework, they do it begrudgingly, they do it unwillingly, they do it with frustration. One, because they got to go outside and work too, so they working for Esau, and they giving it all to Esau and have nothing left for you. It says women were responsible for transforming raw materials into food and clothing. It's been estimated that every day it took women 2 or more hours just to grind grain to make flour alone. Women may have had a significant amount of control of the household's material resources. Yeah, mothers were more likely to name their children than fathers. In ancient Israel, women functioned as a medical specialist, primarily as midwives. Childbirthing was dangerous, and midwives had to possess considerable skill, right? Which now they outsource all of these things. So you got to go to the hospital for all of this stuff. Got to go to Esau's system. You know, he's took that out. So women were nurses. You know, they were healers. All of that to their households. Many social, political, and especially religious institutions excluded women. For example, women had to perform their morning ritual significantly farther away from Yahweh's temple proper than the men. In Ezekiel 8 and 14, women prayed by the temple's northern gate, while men participated in the service in the temple's inner court between the temple front porch and its courtyard altar, Ezekiel 8 and 16. The Leviticus purity laws restricted women's access to the temple during their menses and postpartum discharges. Yep. It says women nonetheless found a place in the ritual life of ancient Israel. They were responsible for preparing many of the customary religious offerings. They prepared grain, foodstuff, offering, libations, offerings, incense offerings. All right. Women were responsible for the musical performances during rituals and celebrations. They talk about Moses' sister singing. Women had better religious opportunity and less bureaucratic institutions. I'm not going to read all of this, but women were in order. They were just in order, and this is the reason why we have to get back to that. And we ain't going to get back to this fully until the kingdom of heaven is established, you know. But we're a people. We're a people without a culture in this world, but we have it now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai and the bishop elders bringing it out and teaching us. The apostles, the apostles and the bishop elders bringing it out and teaching us. Okay, so we're getting these things back, but as it stands, Jake just out of order, and they don't have orders, particularly the women. This is Titus 2:3. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not given of much wine, teachers of good things. And we know that the modern Israelite woman today, she's the opposite of all these things. Her behavior is not becoming holiness. She's an extreme false accuser, and she's given to much wine, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children. And they don't teach them to be that. To be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. You see? So they had a role, and it was the older woman's job to teach the younger women. But we can see, as you can see, the older women today, they ain't teaching the younger woman nothing but wickedness, man. They ain't teaching them nothing but wickedness. So I ain't want to make this too long. I had some more stuff. I wanted to, maybe I'll do a part two. Maybe I want to bring this out though, because I had spoke about it early in the lesson, how the Rockefellers founded or funded feminism, and this is the reason why you have these women choosing these Pookies and Ray Rays, man. Right? You know what I'm saying? Because feminism is destroyed the Israelite fabric of the Israelite family. In the mindset of particularly the women. Feminism funded by the Rockefellers to break up marriages and families. For many years, I always knew deep down that feminism had an agenda. It was obvious to me that it was a man hate movement. Yep, masquerading as equality, and that's exactly what it is. That's why many feminists are lesbians and bisexuals and all kinds of things, right? It says, but not so long ago, I discovered from a man who used to be friends with one of the Rockefellers that the Rockefellers funded feminism in the 1960s for the purpose of creating the battle of the sexes, to get women into work so they could be taxed, and to cause conflict between the genders. And we got all of these stuff going on right now. They wanted fathers out of the way. And why did they want the fathers out of the way, particularly the Israelite fathers? Because we brought order. Order comes through the man, and wanted to make women independent. That's why you got the independent woman. The most independent, so-called independent woman in America is the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American woman. But she's really the most dependent woman. But when you think about it, many women today are dependent on the state, which you just said it. If many women are dependent on the state, then they are not really independent, are they? What the Rockefellers wanted was to make women dependent on the state instead of their husbands. So the state become your husband. Big Daddy government becomes your husband. Look up on Google how the Rockefellers re-engineered women. This is what I was looking for. That's exactly what I was looking for. They took a lot of these old things down. Yeah, I tried to look this up. Like you got this how the Rockefellers alienated women from men. You know, it says right here, feminism. Yeah, this is it right here. Let me see. Oh, I saved it already. It says feminism is an excellent example of how The central banking cartel used the awesome power of mass media, i.e., propaganda, to brainwash women. In 50 short years, many women have been taught to fear and distrust men. They have lost touch with their natural loving instincts. Consequently, the family is in a disarray. Sexually depravity is rampant, and birth rates have plummeted. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So maybe I'll do a. I want to. I'll read all of this, and I do got some. This will give me an opportunity to talk a little bit more about feminism. We have 50 minutes right now, and I made the point in this, but hopefully you were edified, and stay tuned for feminism and how and the effects on the Israelite woman. And so down say shalom on to the next.